Hi, everybody. It's Scott Hollingsworth with Viral Marketing, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Real Estate Success Hangout. As always, we're joined by Jeremy Bowers, and we have a couple great guests for you today who are going to talk to you about how you can double your business. Jeremy, if you want to go ahead and let everybody know a little bit more about what we're going to talk about and introduce everyone to our guests, go right ahead.
Thanks, Scott. So today I got Jason Wallace with me, and I got Scott Gullaksen, and we've partnered up now, and we're working on their business, and they're growing their business right now. Today we're going to discuss, things they've had challenges with over the years, things that they're improving on, and where they think their business is going is going to be the main focus. And we're going to share everything with you guys, give back, and purpose of it is hopefully there's some people out there that the three of us could help out. And then also to spread the love with viral marketing. And if you guys need help with follow-up, which everybody does, should be taking a look at them. They've been a big help to me and many people that I know. So we'll start off with you there, Scotty Gullaksen. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Doing really good. Business is great.
So, you came aboard last spring, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's true.
How was your business then?
So last year I sold 26 houses, and so far up to date, the first 3 months I settled 13. So I want to keep that going. I'm going to try to get to 48, which is 1 a week for me, 4 a month. It's real easy. Last year my goal was 2 a month, and I did that. And I got off to a good start. Figured 4 a month isn't that hard, and just going to keep it going. So.
I like it, man. I like it. And then Jay, you've been with me now. How long's it been now, man? It's been longer than Scotty, I know that. 2 years?
It's been longer than Scotty. It's almost 2 years. I think this August will be our 2-year anniversary.
Nice, man. So how's it going this year for you so far?
So far this year, started out well for me. I'm going after bigger deals. As it goes on, your confidence builds with the resources that you have. So I'm going after the big fish. So I'm reaching for the stars. If I land on the clouds, I'm good to go. So to date, I'm working on, I sold 3 properties thus far. I'm working on 1 big deal now. So I'm just taking my time with that, making sure that everybody's happy on both sides.
Good, man, good. So let's kick it off, because that's the reason I wanted both of you have on here. You guys have some different approaches, and you're both doing well, so I thought it'd be 2 good people to have on. Let's start off with new agents. So I emailed this out to about 70 agents that just joined or are trying to join in the Philadelphia real estate market. I want to give them some tips, and then other agents can benefit from this too. Let's start off with you, Jason. What tips would you give an agent that's new? What is the most important thing that they can do? What's the number one thing you think they can do?
The number one thing that I would say is get your schedule right. You need to have your schedule blocked out and give time to your business. Like, you need to put in the time if you want to make the money. So working on your schedule and figuring that out, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, for me, that's the number one key.
How about you, Scotty?
Schedule is very important, of course. A couple other things that I really wanted to focus on is learning the business. I mean, there's a lot of things involved, so just going and taking courses or learning from a manager like Jeremy, learning from top agents, spending some time with them, just following them around and learning how to show homes the right way, how to talk to your clients and lead generate, things like that. You definitely need to do that. And also just letting people know, talking to people, contacts. We always talk about talking to as many people as you can. Let them know you're in real estate. And after they see the value of your experience level, and they'll still start coming to you, definitely.
Great. So let's go a little bit more on that schedule, Jay. If I asked you guys a question, let's have a little coaching call and see how everybody's doing. And guys, I don't know what they're going to say, so this is live, this is real, so let's see what they've learned so far. So Jay, when does the day start? So today, when did really today start for you?
Okay, so today started at 5:05 for me. So my schedule, what works best for me, I like to get up early because I like to exercise in the morning. That gets me going. That's give me the motivation to get things moving. So at 5 o'clock, by 5:15, I'm in front, doing my stretches, working out, and just getting my heart rate up and get everything moving. I like to be in the office by 8:30 because Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we do prospecting. So I like to be back in the prospecting booth by 9 o'clock, kick it off, work till 12. So, like again, I can't harp on having your schedule tight enough because I think that's one of the biggest challenges that we have. So I'm a morning person. I have my energy in the morning, and that just carries through.
So what about if they're not a morning person? Well, what do they do there, man? What tips would you give them, Jay?
Well, everything's a habit, and you and I have talked about this, and it takes, about 30 days to break a habit. It's not going to all happen at the snap of a finger. You got to work at it. So if you're the type of person that you're not a morning person, but if you learn from a professional that's been doing this for a number of years and been successful at it, and they tell you you need to get up in the morning and you need to get your day started early, just do it incrementally. You do it at 15-minute blocks. If you know you're going to you always get up at 10 o'clock, don't try to get up at 5 o'clock. It's not going to work. You're going to be miserable, and you're going to be pissed off, and you're going to stop working. So maybe you get up at 9:45, and then once you conquer 9:45, maybe you try 8:30, and you just keep on working at that. And next thing you know, you're that person that's getting up at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning. But it's steps that you take in order to get there.
So Scotty G, when's the day start?
For me, I like to start the day the night before, actually. I like to write my schedule out for the following day so I know what I'm going to be doing. And then, when I go to sleep, I learned this from Jeremy, you start thinking about what you're going to do the next day and it kind of prepares you mentally. And then actually, I don't have to set an alarm clock anymore because I'll wake up excited for that next day to get started. I'm the same way as Jay. I want to go to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning. I get to the gym at 6. I work out for about an hour and 15 minutes, but it just pumps you up for the rest of the day. Exercise is so important to get your blood flowing and just start thinking clearly about the day and how you can go about and start brainstorming while you're working out, running, whatever. And then, I start lead generation 8:30 till about 12 o'clock every single day, and just doing that, it's just going to keep the leads coming in at all times.
So how many days a week do you go to the gym, Scotty?
I go to the gym 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays I will take off. Sometimes I'll just do a little cardio on my treadmill. But at the same time, if I'm not doing that, I'll be reading a book in the morning or something that's just going to, motivational videos, which I learned from Jeremy, watching stuff like that to pump you up for the day. I think that really helps too. So.
Good. So both answers were right. But, Jay, you know this too. I liked yours, but really it starts that night before. And you and I have talked about this. You have good habits on this. It's when you eat. It's when you go to bed. It's what you do the night before. Just like when you're drinking. And you drink too much, the next day you feel like crap. It's not what you do that night. You're going to feel okay that night. It's the next day how you get affected. So, we try to get people to eat around before 6:30. I got a person right now I'm working with. They were going to bed around midnight, 2 o'clock. They're cutting that down, getting into bed by 11. And I'll tell you what, man, 3-4 days a week, she is doing really well getting up on time. And how we broke her habits was first, what time you're eating. 2, what are you doing? Get off the email, get off the computer, chill out, relax, read a positive book. Don't watch that crappy news. Don't watch that trashy show. And focus on yourself, and then go to bed, get up, and then rock that gym. Jay, you've always been a pretty good person with working out, right?
Definitely. It's always been a part of my life.
How did you feel once you broke your leg and you were playing rugby and you broke your leg and you couldn't work out? How was your energy level?
Tell you the God honest truth, it was down. I was absolutely miserable because it's a whole new process that I had to learn. And the sleeping was completely off because I had to be on my back. I'm in a full leg cast, so the mobility was definitely, it wasn't there. So it was a miserable time, and I'm happy to be back on both feet so I can get back to my regular routine.
Yeah. So we talked about scheduling. That's one part of the quadrants of real estate, right, guys? We talk about that a lot. How about let's get into a little bit different bucket. Actually, let's stay on schedule. What do you guys need to work on your schedule? So you guys talk about what you're doing. What do you need to work on?
I'll jump in. One of the biggest things that I'm seeing. So I time block, and the time block that I have, if I have a client that I'm working with, listing their house, and if they call, I'm trying to break this habit because I always pick up the phone. If I'm supposed to be doing something, if it's designated for paperwork or what have you, the phone call comes in, then I want to pick up that phone call. Then next thing you know, I'm 15 minutes in answering their question, and it's taken away the time that I designated for what I had to do. So I have to take that time from somewhere else. So that's one of the things that that we're working on right now, to break and just focus in on what I'm doing and just get it done and then answer the phone calls. So that's another time block that I'm working on. It's with when phone calls are coming in while I'm doing something, just to answer that later and time block it off and answer their questions.
Good. How about you, Scotty?
Kind of similar. Answering emails, I check my emails too often throughout the day. You should really time block that, but it's just tough. I feel like there's important things coming in. I usually have, like with Zillow leads, I'll have like a text message that gets sent to my phone, so that way I know it's a really important lead that I need to get back to right away, so that helps. But checking my email too often, I think also I have trouble, I guess, saying no to people. If they call me up and say, hey, I really like to see this property tonight, and I'll find a way to fit them in, and it's just, I just kind of lose track because I could have spent that time doing something else that I was supposed to be doing. So.
Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit more. So the email thing, Scotty, I think that's the number one challenge people have with staying on schedule and staying focused. The guy who actually was behind a lot of computers and emails, he said one of the worst things that ever happened, which is kind of crazy to say this, is actual email. Because it's very inefficient and people stay on it all day long. Do you guys ever know, like, you ever notice executives and very, very successful people, they probably typically don't respond back to you right away, right?
No.
Because they're blocked time schedules. So, Scotty, you brought up a good thing. So the number one thing people say to me is, Jeremy, I'm going to miss leads. I'm going to miss something. Hey, guys, listen, I've been there. I understand that. What you need to do is you need to put a filter system in place. And you kind of have one, Scotty, right now is Pillow, right? You said you get a text. So in your iPhone, there's a feature in your contacts called VIP. And in VIP, that person, you can set up an email address, whatever email source that you have, that you can get that lead from, and it'll text you or alert you. That way you don't have to stay in your email all day. Do you have that going, Scotty?
Not for all my leads, only for my Zillow leads, but I know I can set that up, and it would be smart for important stuff that does come in.
And then the other thing, Scott, and Jay, this would be good for you too. How about this? Hey, Jeremy, I don't want to miss out on any emails if my client sends me something or a prospect. So what you also can do is you can set up your hot prospects and your clients in your VIP, and then it'll alert you via text when they send you an email. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good.
That's cool. That'll work for me.
So if I had someone in Trend MLS or someone that was a high price point, I'd put them in my VIP alert, and boom, I was able to get off my email and be comfortable. I wasn't missing out. And then I would get those alerts a couple times a day. Here's a trivia question. How much time will you save in a day if you check your email 3 times? How much time will you save a day if you check your email 3 times a day? Jay?
I'm going to go in, I'm going to say an hour.
Scotty?
I'd probably say about 2 hours, actually, probably.
Good. I think it's right in the middle, and it could be 1 to 2. But me personally, man, it was an hour and a half a day, sometimes 2 hours a day. And how I learned it was I kept track, and I put a tally sheet, and it said email. Any bad habit I ever want to fix, I just keep track of how often I do it. Facebook, if I think I'm on Facebook too much, where that comes and goes, I'll track. and then I'll notice, whoa, Jerry, you went on it too many times. And I'll focus it for about 2 weeks, and I'll get that habit back to being normal. So I'd recommend tracking it, and you'll be shocked at how much time you're wasting a day. Guys, imagine this. If you could just save an hour and a half of your day, let's go an hour for math purposes, an hour a day. How many more deals could you do if that saved you 5 hours times 50 is 250 hours? If I gave you 250 hours, how much money do you think you could make off 250 hours?
Probably do another 5 to 10 more deals, probably, I would say. At least 5.
Scott or Jay?
If we're talking about money, 250 hours, you could do a lot in 250 hours. I would say if we're quantifying money, that's probably looking like maybe $50,000 to $75,000 that you can make extra if you could save that amount of time.
Yeah, it's 5 weeks, guys. It's 5 weeks. What could you do in 5 weeks for how much money you can make? You know what I mean? That's the real question. So that's good. Just keep that in mind, guys. That's one thing I would take to the next level and work on a little bit more with that. So, did you guys have any questions on or anything you want to try that to work on? Anything like that you want to share on schedule?
Yeah, just time blocking for emails. I'm going to give that a shot. I definitely want to try that because it's definitely going to be make you more efficient throughout the day. So,
Jay, anything from you?
So what I'm going to try now, typically I always make my list in the morning when I first come in. I just take 10, 15 minutes. I sit down, where it's quiet. There's not a lot of people in the office, and I just write down my list. But I'm going to pick up what Scotty G said and just write it the night before. So my mind will be going and thinking about the solution to the issues or the solution to any problems that I have that I wrote down on my list. So when I get up, I already have the answer, and I just have to carry it through my day. So that will save me 15 minutes in the morning. Rather than sitting down, I could be doing something else.
Good. And my last tip with you guys on schedule would be, I have a lot of people have a hard time doing this, is do you guys have a notepad? And on that notepad, do you have your voicemails, your phone calls, your contacts, your follow-ups, your 3 personal things you're going to do for the day, your 5 most important do's? Do you have one sheet to keep you on track for the day, or are you still trying to wing it and, have a little laundry list and whatever you get to, you get to?
Personally, for me, I got a personal planner. I keep that, and I write everything in this one planner, and it works for me. I bring it everywhere I go. I mean, even to the point where if I just go to my parents' house, just to go visit them for lunch, I'm bringing it with me just in case I do need to write something down. And have something in one book that you can refer to at the end of the week, plug it into your database, all the contacts that you talk to is really what you need to do. I mean, it works out well. So.
Badass, man. I like it. That's exactly good. Jay?
So I'm a list person, so I have everything on my list. The people that I meet, I just write them on my list. I have my phone. It's always on me, so I go to my notes, and I created a list. So all the new contacts that I meet, I just plug in their email address and their telephone number and where I met them. So next time I pick up the phone to give them a call, I could refer to, I met you at, when we were out to dinner, or at, such and such restaurant. For instance, perfect example, I was at Rosa Blanca down in Old City, met a great contact there. So that's a good reference that I have, that we ate at the restaurant, we had a good conversation. So at the end of the week, I go back and I plug that into my database. But everything works off of the list, and then what I don't accomplish on that list, it just gets rolled in. But typically, I'm crushing my list.
Good. I like it. So we start off with schedule. We start off with habits, right? Would you guys both agree the most important thing is get your habits straight first?
That's a must. You got to. If you're expecting to make money in this business, you have to be very disciplined, and you have to be able to listen. So if you have bad habits that you're trying to bring in to real estate, it's not going to work. And then you're going to be wondering 6 months in, why am I not making this money? Well, you have your bad habits that you need to break. So it's not coming in and all of a sudden all this money is going to come flowing into your pockets. No, you have to put in work. You have to invest in your business. And that's what we learned from you.
I like it. Scotty?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, it took me a good 3 years or so to start building really good habits, and then I'll fall off track at times and get back to those old ways. But once you get back, you get used to it. I mean, now I can barely stay up past 9:30 because I used to stay up till 12, and I mean, a portion of that's because I have kids now, but at the same time, I got to wake up early, and I just have to be responsible. It's responsibility, hold yourself accountable.
Dead on, dude. Me, I got the basketball game the other night. I was like, who the heck picked the basketball game after 9 o'clock? I think I watched 5 minutes and fell asleep,
Yeah.
I hear you. So let's get into another bucket. So we talked about habits, we talked about schedule. Let's talk about lead generation. What are you guys doing for lead generation? We'll start off with you, Scotty.
So for me, I'm trying to get into doing more cold calling, expired listings, for sale by owner. I still do a little bit of that, but I do a lot of stuff online. I do a lot of advertising on Craigslist even still, also Facebook ads, things like that nature. And I've been able to generate a lot of leads. I mean, I come up on the Google search. If you search for like Manayunk or Roxborough, I'll show up on the first page, and I will get leads that way. And also using like websites like Zillow or Trulio where you have reviews and your previous clients can give you reviews on that section. I think it's important because people, when they find out who you are, they're going to Google search you and they're going to make sure that you have a good reputation, and that's key right there. So.
Yep. And you have a large center of influence too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've been in the business for close to 10 years now, but doing real estate full time for probably the last 3-4 years. And a lot of people know I'm in real estate, so I do stay in touch with them. And every time I see them out, they're talking to me for next 20 minutes. So it's pretty cool.
How about you? How about you, Jay?
So my thing that I absolutely love, I love hitting the phones. So I'll do the cold calling, the expireds, FISBOs, and I also like to do just listed, just sold calls. And that seems.
And then you got your center of influence calls.
Ask them the question if they're interested in selling their home. They might not be. And then I have, of course, I have my center of influence. I'm always reaching out to my friends. They're on a 3-month rotation. So every 3 months I reach out to my center of influence, just ask them, like, what's going on in your circle, what's going on in your network? How can I help? Do you have a friend, that I've met that's interested in real estate? And perfect story. Last Friday, I went out to Downingtown. Friends that I haven't seen in about 4.5 months. They want to buy a house, so they started talking to me, asking me questions. They want to start the process, going out, start shopping for mortgages and so forth. So perfect example, just like reaching out, center of influence, the cold calling. And since the weather broke, I'm going to be out there, knocking on doors. And you and I both talked about it. Going to the job sites, dropping off little treats for the guys. That's things that I'm incorporating with my lead generation, and it works.
I love it. All right, so we talked a little bit about lead generation. How about this, guys? How about atmosphere? So you guys are sports guys. How important is it being in the right atmosphere with other people who are doing what you are doing and going to the next level? Scotty, you start off. How is the atmosphere here or in a company important for you?
It's really important. I mean, I used to be with a different brokerage before, and as soon as I switched over to this company, I mean, things are just unbelievable. I mean, you got top agents that are there sharing ideas with you, and you can learn from them. I love to help people out myself, so just telling people different things that are working for them. I mean, it's crazy not to try them out, because they're working. So being in an atmosphere like that with agents that want to improve themselves and continue to be top agents, it's just, you can't really beat it. So.
And then how about you there, Jay?
I worked at an office before, and the way that we operate here, it's completely different from any other office that I worked in, where top agents are willing to give you information, sit down with you, talk with you, tell you what's working for them, what you should try out, just like what Scott said, what you should try out, you should definitely do this, and they'll give you the results that comes from it. So if you're not going to try it, you'll be a dummy not to try it. You know, if it's working for them and they're the top agent and you always see their name on the board and they're clearing X amount of dollars a year, then why not? You don't need to recreate the wheel. Just reach out and talk to people. Especially in this office, you know, information is just free flowing.
So how's Monday, Wednesday, Friday with the music that's being played, me going back in the trenches with you guys, me following up with you guys and making sure that you're committed to staying on track? How does that come into play with your business?
It's huge. I mean, if you have your partner in business back there with you, you know, in the trenches with you, making phone calls with you, that's motivation. So the atmosphere Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you know, we're all pumped up. And right there, we're focused in from 9 to 12. We're focused in on reaching out to our people, reaching out to our, you know, our peer events ones, doing our cold calling, you know, whatever we need to do to make money. And it's guaranteed that if you compound effect, if you keep on doing it, you're going to make money.
Yep.
So the atmosphere back there, the music is pumping. I feel good when I go back there because I know I'm walking out with more money in my pocket with the time that I put in.
It's a protected zone, right?
Yeah, it's great. And what we came up with, and for somebody that's skeptical about, you know, cold calling, you know, am I bothering people? It's not that you're bothering people. Like, I have you back there. So if I have somebody that, you know, is teeter-tottering back and forth, you know, I could just, you know, holler out our keyword, you know, crank or don't, and you come over, and then you pick it up from there. You look at my notes, what we're writing down about the person, then you pick it up from there, and then you close the deal. Like, that's a no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't you be back there if I have you that's successful in this business and know what to say and how to say it, you know, to get the fish on the hook? Like, come on, it's
fun, isn't it? Yo, Scotty from Viral Marketing, did you hear that word he said? Grant Cardone?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch him on YouTube at all?
Not a lot. Maybe I'll have to check it out some more.
Check him out, dude. He does coaching for car dealerships and coaching for different companies. And if he hears a rep on the phone, he'll come over and help close them. Back in the telecom days, that's what my manager did. And I'll just, you know, say Grant Cardone. Or if they talk to someone and they can't help close them, give me a lead. I want to follow up with them, you know. Or you want to go out on a new construction appointment, let's go out. You want to go meet a builder, let's go out. And, you know, let's work this as a team. Because the beauty is I only get paid if they get paid. I don't get paid anything if they sign up. The only way I ever make money is if these cats do well. So it's a joint partnership, everything, which way. I was on the phone last night, man. This guy, 8:30 on the train, I was going home. Agent from another company, he called me about something earlier in the day and asked a question. I called him 8:30. He goes, what the heck are you doing at 8:30 at night talking to me on the phone? I said, dude, I'm in the trenches. I work like you guys work. I just love doing this part. There's a reason why I'm not doing the other thing anymore. I like seeing helping these differences. I like seeing Scotty G double his business. I like seeing Jason Wallace double his business. So when I get a call from you and I can help you at 8:30 at night, I want to do that. What did the guy do? He went on Facebook, posted a comment, and said, just got some tips from Jeremy at 8:30 at night. Basically just said, listen, where's his manager? His manager's probably home at 5 o'clock, you know? Yeah. So it's fun going in the trenches with these guys.
So I've got a quick question for Jason and Scott. You know, Jason, as you were sitting there talking about being back in the trenches and you get to that point where you're a little bit stuck and you call Jeremy over, you said that, you know, he knows what to say, when to say it. It's really easy for him. How much time do you guys actually spend on practicing your scripts, and is it something that you schedule out in your day? We talked about scheduling. Do you have a set time that you practice your scripts, and what are some of the things that you do to help you get better and get to the point where Jeremy is?
So definitely in the morning when I come in, it's all dependent on what I'm going to be targeting. So if I'm targeting expireds, there's an expired script that, you know, I follow. and I follow that list. And sometimes, I switch it up just so it comes across more natural. But there's other times where I have, that potential client on the phone who's, skeptical of like, okay, I tried this before, but it didn't work for me. So why am I going to go with you? I tell them the stats, but everybody likes to feel special.
Yep.
That's what's the bottom line. It's human nature. Everybody likes to feel special. So if my partner, my manager, comes over and picks up the phone, it's like, hey, this is Jeremy Bowers, with Coldwell Banker, I'm the manager here. It elevates. It elevates you. It elevates a whole entire situation that you're in. That conversation is now at a different level than it was before with me. So I do take time and practice my script to get it to that point where Jeremy can jump on the phone and take it over. I'll keep that conversation going. I'll keep on asking those questions, and then, Jeremy comes in and closes.
Great.
But I will get to that point where I can just close it out myself. But for now, Jeremy's a great asset to have.
Yeah, he's Scotty, and he's closing out a lot of himself. He's giving me more props, but it's once in a while we do this. But he's dead on. And what the other thing that helps these guys, if you listen to them, is they learn from each other inadvertently because the other cat's on the phone hitting the phone, so the other one's doing it. So I got 10 prospecting boosts back there. Now, some guys don't participate in it as much and still do well. Scott Gullaksen's a classic example I get. All I do with these guys, man, is I give them a healthy buffet. They can pick what they want. They can do what they want. But let me take the smorgasbord away. Let me take the fattening food. Let me give them healthy stuff. Scotty does better at home. Scotty does better in his private office where he's at right now by himself. And some guys are just like that. And he knows it works for him. So whatever works, works, right? Scotty, you do better on your own.
Yeah, for me, it's a focus thing. I mean, when I close my door, no one is, during my lead generation hours, I need complete focus. And I just really need that, and I perform better. So that's why I stick to it. So.
Yeah, so it gives you options, right? You can do what you want, Scotty. We give you options, and you can run which way you want, where before it was pretty much all on your own. You had to trial error everything, right?
Yep, and I still come in every Tuesday. There's a training in our office, and I pick up tips every single time I go to that training. You think you know everything, but you don't because there's so many things you can pick up. I went to a training today, a real estate training, and I picked up a lead there. Someone wants to sell their house in Roxborough. Just because they were talking about real estate, I started talking to them, and I'm going over there tonight. So really
I love it. I love it. So we talked about lead generation, talked about schedule, we talked about atmosphere. Let me ask you guys a question. What's your opinion on people trying to do this business part-time? Jay?
Look, it's you weigh the risk. You weigh it out. Some folks, they have, a very strong fear of influence that you may come in and you may be able to close a couple deals. But this, if you're serious about it and you want to do it and you want to be on top of your game, if you want to be on top of your game, you have to be here full time.
Yep.
When you're here full time, then your full potential of everything, the resources, will be there, because if you're doing it part-time, you're going to be missing out on some things. You're not going to always be around because you're going to be preoccupied with other things. But if you're full-time in, everything will come to you. And I'm speaking in perspective of this office. I can't speak on every office.
How about you, Scott? What do you think about being part-time compared to full-time?
I think you got to be full-time. I mean, if you talk to someone, a seller that wants to sell their house, they're not going to want a part-time agent, that someone that just does it on the side. They want a true expert. And to be a true expert, you have to be in the business every single day and learning about the industry and learning what's going on and different programs that are out there for buyers, how you can attract more buyers to the house for the seller to sell their property. You've got to be in it full-time. You just have to go in all in, and if you have the right management in place that's going to help you out, the right mentor, you can definitely get a lot of deals done, at least one a month to start. I would say the first years, that's pretty easy, I think.
So that's what's interesting, guys. So I got the PSI list of the people who took the test last month. In the last couple months, the fail rate's been about 70%, and typically the fail rate's 50%. what I've noticed is most of the people are taking the classes part-time because they're going online and are taking a longer period of time.
Yeah.
They're having a harder time passing it instead of just committing to 3 weekends, bang it out, do it full-time. The pass rate has gone from here to here because they're doing it part-time just like selling real estate. And then with us, you know, I focus on full-time people. I'd be lying to a person to say I can help you part-time. I've been doing this for years. I don't have that many success stories of people part-time. I did it part-time, but I sold telecom, flipped houses, and sold real estate. But I worked 80 to 100 hours a week. I was a workhorse. I didn't care, and I partied. I just did it all, but I had to be able to put that many hours in. A lot of people don't want to put that many hours in. So if you're debating about full-time, part-time, highly recommend, man. If you can't do it now full-time, don't do it. Here's an example. Planet Fitness. My buddy, I know some guys that own some Planet Fitnesses. Or is it LA Weight Loss? One of them, Scott, you go to LA. I think it's Planet Fitness. They pass out the pizza when you're working out.
I go to LA Fitness. I don't know.
Where do you go, LA or Planet?
Me personally, I go to LA Fitness. I know they do pass out pizza, I think, once a week on a Friday, I think.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Fitness.
Pass out pizza, it's workouts. You got to stay here longer, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, same thing in this business. It's like you can't even give it a fair shot, just like eating pizza and working out. You're just working out what you just freaking ate. Same thing in this business. If you can't commit 40 hours a week minimum, don't even try it. Last month, I turned 3 guys away because I said to them, listen, man, you don't have enough money saved, you don't have 6 months income saved, and you can't commit to 40 hours a week. You know where they went? They went to another brokerage down the street, most likely, or they'll wait for me and they'll listen. But if they get down the other brokerage, I can almost guarantee next year I'll see their name dropped out, the 85% that drop out every, 18 months. They're out, 85% of people that just got in because they don't give it a fair shot. So I highly recommend the full-time. So, guys, coaching. I'm going to do a little coaching with you. You guys ready?
Yep.
Little bit different spin. We did a little coaching on lead generation. We did a little bit of coaching on habits. Did a little coaching on schedule. So next, let's do systems. So let's start with Jay. Jay, how's your systems right now, and what would you like to change?
Right now, my system is good. The way that you explained it really resonated with me when we're sitting down and with your database set up. That's a huge part of the system that I'm working on and have in place. Because when I'm done with the business and I want to step away, I could turn around and I can sell my database to somebody, maybe somebody that's new, that has the savings that can buy my database from me, and I'm making money from just inputting information into the computer.
How much more organized are you this year compared to last year and then compared to 2 years ago? So 2 years you've been together.
Goodness.
What's the difference?
2 years ago, I was writing everything on paper. Okay, I was the scrap paper guy, wrote everything on paper, and I expected that that was going to be sufficient enough for the level of business that I'm doing. Lo and behold, it's not. It doesn't work because I'm always rummaging through trying to find, oh, I talked to this person. When did I talk to this person? No, it doesn't work. Now I have a notebook that has all my contacts in there in a central place, and then from this notebook, it's inputted into the computer. So you're talking about efficient, you're talking about smooth. All I have to do is just go onto my database, pull up a name. There's the notes all there, the previous conversation that we had, what they're looking for, if they're 6 months out, a month out, a year out. I have all that information there that I could just read off like, hey, we talked then, you told me to give you a call now, so what's going on? It's so much more efficient and so much easier. And I learned this here. That's a part of the resources that you get here. Like you learned, the previous broker, paper and pencil was good enough.
How about you, Scotty? From a year ago to today, what's changed?
A lot of things have changed. I realized how important a database was to keep track of people, to stay in front of them at least, once or twice a month. I like to send out e-newsletters. I used to do a lot of rentals back in the day. A lot of those people are buying houses from me now. If I didn't send out that email, then they wouldn't even think I was in the business anymore, probably. But they, I might have showed them 4 or 5 years ago. Sometimes I forget who they are, but because I'm sending them emails on a monthly basis, they remembered me. I was a nice guy to them. I helped them out, and now they're buying a house through me. That means a lot.
So, in the last 2 years and 1 year, what's some things you can share with people, what you've learned that you think has been really valuable, why your business has doubled? We'll start with you, Scotty. What's some things you learned the last year, the reason why you think your business is going to double with partnering up with us over here with me?
For you, the main thing that you told me was mindset. Just being able to wake up early and lead generate and just stay on a system of 9 to 12 lead generation. Because I used to fall into that pit, like the peaks and valleys, what they always talk about. I'd have a great month, sell 4 or 5 houses, and then the next month I got nothing. And then because I stopped lead generating, I was having a good, I would sell 4 or 5 houses, and then I would, kind of like celebrate a little bit, or kind of slack off, thinking I was good, and then the next month I just had to really pick up the pace. So it's just once you do that 9 to 12 every single day, we can really take advantage of that and keep the leads coming in. The next 2 months from now, I got another 6 transactions that I got going. So I just keep the leads coming in, and it all pans out. So.
Yeah, you were very reactive. You hustled, but you didn't have enough systems in place, and that's why you hit the peaks and valleys. And if someone called you up right now and said, I want to go see a house, you wouldn't even look at your schedule. Well, you would look to see the appointments, but you would change anything just to go do it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You're still working on that. You were talking about that. You have that good annual personality that you're just trying to get more schedule oriented. But look at leaps and bounds, dude. Last spring to this spring, dude, big difference, right? Just imagine what it's going to be like in 3 years when we're celebrating.
Oh my gosh, I know.
You're gonna have to figure out where to put the money. So you're how about you, Jay? In the last 2 years, what would you say the biggest things you've learned?
The biggest thing that I learned is to ask myself the question why. Why am I doing this? And it's more on a personal basis. The why is my motivation why I'm doing this, and that gives me the drive to get the system set in place. To stay on the schedule, and crank it out and hustle. I want to be on a level where I'm elite. I'm working towards that, and the why is the foundation of everything that I'm doing. And I learned that here, because before it was just a simple, okay, I'm going to come in, I'm going to make all this money, but there wasn't any mortar behind what I was doing. So here I have the brick, I have the mortar, I have all the resources that I need, and I'm running with it.
You've seen, I know you have, the video with Will Smith putting a brick at a time, building a wall, right? Everyone went to build a wall in a day. It took him a whole summer, and his dad or grandfather taught him. And he said, what did you learn at the end? He said, I learned if you put every single brick and align it correctly, you can build a big-ass, badass wall. But if you try to throw it up, it's going to crumble, man.
Exactly.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. So, guys, we've been doing this about 45 minutes today, man, and I appreciate you guys sharing the wealth back. And I've always told you this, I'll give you anything I got. I'm glad you guys are giving some knowledge back. It's always good to hear yourself talk about what you're doing, what you need to work on so you can improve, and you two guys are very, very coachable. And once again, the Phillies in 05, both of you guys are 05 Phillies right now. You guys are kicking ass, but there's still big business going out there. We're in 08. We're going to celebrate. What we're not going to do is we're not going to be like the Phillies in 010, not rebuild and blow up. And now your boy Scotty there at Viral has the Royals, and they're doing well. So we're going to keep on adjusting and not overpay Ryan Howard.
Yeah, really.
There you go.
Hey, do you want Ryan Howard, Scott? We'll give you Ryan Howard for, I don't know what we'd give you for him. So, anyways, Scotty Gullaksen, I want to thank you for today, man. Thanks for sharing. Jay Wallace, thanks for sharing. Guys, if you're on this call and you want to help in the Philadelphia suburb market and you want to partner up with a realtor and help you, check these two guys out. Their information's on there. If you want help with coaching, you want help with mentoring, I don't care where you work, I'll help you. I typically like to help about 2 people a month, and I got the time to do it because all I do is coach, train, and recruit. And then last, if you guys need help, and everybody needs help on systems, I highly recommend viral marketing. And what it'll do for your life is it'll clean up your life, it'll get you organized, and it'll get you staying in front of people with value, not junk. And in real estate, I see enough junk out there. So, Scott, thanks for doing this call today, man. And we're just glad that we can give back. And if they want to take a look at my site, the 300%.com. Give me a call at 215-370-9107. And Scotty G and Jay Wallace work here in the office with us together. Their information's up there. And that's pretty much all we got, Scott.
Yeah, well, I just want to thank all 3 of you guys for coming on and sharing everything. It's been a really educational hangout. We've got a lot of good information out there, and I want to remind everybody that we'll do the same thing next month at the same time. And anything else that Scott or Jason want to say before we sign off here?
Yeah, just for me, I mean, I signed up with Jeremy.
Biggest thing,
Still here?
I'd like to just throw out there.
Oh.
Go ahead, Jay.
Jay, you're up.
Oh, it looks like Jay may have froze.
All right, Scott, you're up, man.
Yeah, so, yeah, you cut me off, but it's all right.
So which one's going? We'll go Jay Wallace.
I'm going. Yeah, I'll jump in. So the biggest thing that I want to put out there and harp on is you have to find the right atmosphere for yourself. You need to find somewhere that you can grow within that company. You need to have a place where you can receive resources. If you're just starting out in the business, like, you have to have the resources. You have to have the knowledge. You have to have a person that is willing to give their time and their effort and their energy to help you do what you need to do and see your goals and hold you accountable. That's the most important thing, to have somebody to hold you accountable. And if you're sitting at a firm and if you don't have that, then I would say walk away as quickly as possible and find a place that embodies all of those things.
Scott?
I'm just really happy to have Jeremy on my side. I mean, he was a top agent. I always knew his name. I never met him in person, but I always knew Jeremy Bowers as a top real estate agent. And just that's the whole reason why I came over here, to learn from someone like Jeremy. And I mean, he knows his stuff, and he's not selling real estate anymore. All his time is dedicated to helping us out, and becoming the best top agents we can come, and also at the same time growing as a person and balancing our life. That's very important as well. So thank you.
Thanks, guys, man. We're having fun. It's only the beginning, and a lot more good things are about to come. So I appreciate it. Everybody have a great week.
You too, Jeremy.
Everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month on another episode of Real Estate Success Hangout.